Good afternoon, class. My name is Mkwazema Christiana. I'm here to teach you literature in English. Poetry to be precise for those in JS3. The topic for today's lesson is Unsteady Commissioners, written by E. Sanyo Olu. This is a continuation of the poems we were studying before you went on holiday. Now, before we go further, we want to look at the objectives, what we stand to gain by the end of this lesson. Now, let me read. The first point, the student should be able to recite the poem. The second one, give a content analysis of the poem. The third one, give at least 2 themes in the poem. Now, the last one, identify the figures of speech or literary devices used in the poem. Now, let me give you a brief of the poem, or what the poem is all about. That's a background analysis of it. Now, the poem is an admonition to the politicians. The poets used it to advise them on how to go about, especially when dealing with the masses or the electorate or the people at the grassroots that elected them. You should not use your position as the leader to suppress them. You should have them in mind. You should make sure that you carry them along. They should not be grudging because they have you as their leader. No, that was not the reason why they voted you in power. But remember that one day, if you continue in that aspect, you may lose that position. So that is what the poet is trying to tell the politicians. Be good to those that elected you. Carry them along. Make sure they don't grumble when you are in power. Ensure that they get whatever they want from you. Now, let's look at the poem proper. Now, let's read the poem. Unsteady Commissioners by E. Sanyo Olu. When you are lucky to be there, think of those left behind. Never be sure you long there, for your post is no birthright. That's stanza 1 of the poem. Let's move to stanza 2. When you're lucky to be there, think of those down below. For those down below, for those that put you there, can be by your stupidity bring you low. When you are lucky to be there, live above board. For many eyes are watching. For many eyes are watching you there, and it's easy to fault on board. When you're lucky to be there, never be unwise and tender to people on the grass, for it is glorious to be up there, but unpalatable to fall from grace to grass. Okay, let me explain it stanza by stanza. Stanza 1 says, when you are lucky to be there, think of those left behind. Never be sure you will long be there, for your post is no birthright. What does that mean? It means that we are lucky to have that post. It may be the post of a commissioner, it may be that of a governor, whatever it may be. It is not your birthright. People voted you, and they have their reason for that. So you should treat them well. Let's go to stanza 2. When you're lucky to be there, think of those down below. For those down below, for those that put you there, can by your stupidity bring you low. What does that mean? If you don't treat them well, one, they may write petition against you. In fact, people will make sure that they castigate you until you are removed from that post. So you have to be very careful. The next, let's go to the next stanza. When you're lucky to be there, live above board. For many eyes are watching you there, and it's easy to fault on board. Now, what does that mean? Now, when we look at this line, we will see that there is a figure of speech used. He says, for many eyes. What does that eyes there represent? It represents the people that you're ruling. It represents the masses, the electorate, those that put you there. So that's the figure of speech that we call synecdoche. Synecdoche. That's a figure of speech that uses a part of something to represent the whole. So eyes there represents people. So be careful so that they don't bring you down. Stanza, the next stanza. When you're lucky to be there, never be unwise and tender to people on the grass. For it's glorious to be up there, but unpalatable to fall from grace to grass. What does that mean? Treat people well, or else you'll be disgraced. It is not good for you to, to be flourishing, for you to be enjoying yourself. Then, because of your stupidity, because of you're being too, maybe it might be pride. You might feel that you have arrived, but the people will still let you know that they were the ones that put you there. So they will look for a way to do what? To reduce you to nothing. Let's go to the next stanza.
Students, they don't play with it. Like all teachers of the left and we have done them, kept them there.
Okay, having explained the poem, to know what the poem is all about,
if you miss it,
we are going to look at the themes used in that. Now remember that theme means the central idea of the poem. That's what the poem is trying to let us know. Now the first theme in that poem is leadership position is not a birthright. We saw that in stanza 1 line 4 when we read it. It is not your birthright. If you misbehave, you'll be removed. Now the second theme in that poem is application of wisdom, or you can say being a wise leader. We can see this from lines 5 to 9 of that poem. It is now left for you as a leader to be wise in managing your affairs. Now, what is the structure of that poem? It is just a poem of 4 stanzas. Now, let's look at the language. The poet made use of simple language. There's no difficult word. There's no difficult word in that poem. Now, what is the mood? Remember, the poem is sort of food for thought, especially for the leaders. It is left for you to be wise. Have those people that voted you in mind in whatever you are doing. Then another one, the tone. The tone of that poem is serious and also sincere because it is addressing the politicians. Be careful in whatever you do. Now the next one we are going to look at is the figures of speech. We are going to look at the figures of speech used in the poem. Now the first figure of speech used here is synecdoche. Synecdoche. This is when a part is used to represent the whole. Like I explained when I was reading the poem. We have in stanza 3, line 3, where the poet wrote, "For many eyes are watching you there." Eyes there represents human beings. Now, another figure of speech used is metonymy. This is a figure of speech that uses something closely related to something to explain it. You use an object or an idea to explain something that is closely related to it. Now let's look at stanza 4, line 3. To people on the grass. Now what does grass stand for? Grass there means the masses, the electorate. Those are the grassroots, the people that voted you in. So instead of mentioning human beings, the poet decided to use grass, but still talking about human beings. Now another one is alliteration. It is a repetition of similar consonant sounds at the beginning of words in a line of poem. can see this in stanza 2, line 4. Now let me read it out. For those that puts you there, what is the predominant consonant sound? That is the D sound. That is what the poet is trying to point at. The last figure of speech used in the poem is repetition. The expression, when you are lucky to be there, when we read the poem, you will discover that it featured in all the stanzas. So what is the reason for this? The poet used it to emphasize on the need for the leaders to do well anytime they are in the position of authority. It is not their birthright. People voted them there, so don't use it against them. Now we have come to the end of the lesson. Now there's an assignment for you to do. Let me read it. The first one. The name of the poet is dash. Number 2. How many stanzas do the poem have? The third one. What is the dominant figure of speech used in the poem? Now the fourth one. What is the mood of the poem? Make sure you do this assignment. Then give to an elderly person close to you to check. Then another thing, you know what is happening in the society. Always stay at home, stay safe, wash your hands, keep social distance, don't move anyhow. Remember, COVID-19 is real. Now, in our next lesson, I would like you to bring your comprehensive literature, because as I'm reading the poem, you will also be reading along with me. So, see you then. Have a nice day at home.